Let's get started. Okay. How's it going, Abhishek?
Hey, on signed transaction, we have some problems. I had a discussion with Dennis, so some points were missing. We didn't had any parameter for origin, so we had to incorporate that from the start. And from the start itself, we have to store the transaction object. So that's what I have started working on that.
I'm having a
Um,
little bit trouble hearing you. So you're adding more parameters to this task?
yes, correct. So there are some more changes
Okay.
which has needs to be done.
Okay. And then after that's reviewed, then you can review you can review composed transaction.
After signed transaction, I have to make some changes on compose transaction. It's dependent on signed transaction.
Okay.
The other one in review, I think Dennis made some changes there, which was required. But if something more is required, that I can do. But I don't have any comment for that.
Okay. So Dennis, this is ready to be reviewed again.
Take a look.
Okay. Add memo to accumulate wallet E. So I guess between this and some of those exchange tasks, Abhishek, is this something you assigned to yourself, or Dennis, is this something you assigned?
I think
I
this also is
assigned
an.
that we needed.
Sorry, go ahead.
Added that one this morning because realized that we needed it. We didn't have it, so should be fairly straightforward.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Denny, you're working on the disaster recovery doc.
Yeah, like I just had a conversation with Quinton on that. So Quinton has suggested a few things on that. So I'll be adding the things, the improvements on the document.
So you're adding a new document.
Yeah,
He's
more point of a description.
so he's taking all the information that exists in the Confluence articles and more information that's needed to just make this document that you have on screen fully comprehensible, even in a scenario where DeFi devs doesn't exist.
Sounds good. All right, and Denny, when do you think you'll get that to us?
I'll be updating those things today.
Today? All right, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. This is the scripting tool for staking, which is in review. All right. So, Paul, have you gotten a chance to look at this MR?
Oh, I haven't. I've been working on the integration with the blockchain.
All right. I will add this into your sheet so you can.
Yeah.
See.
I mean, I can't read it yet because I don't have everything working. So, and Ethan, I've kind of run into problems, so I need to talk to you.
Okay.
All right, let me know.
Yeah.
And then Paul, you owe Ethan factoid key and address.
Yeah, I need to do that. I'll do that today.
All right, so I'll just add these two things for you to review.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Ethan, I wanted to just after this meeting discuss the anchors. Jonathan, let's see here. I'll reach out to him, see what's going on. So Paul, you're working on the staking report. You'll talk to Ethan about that. I added the staking rules task into your Google Sheets doc. So I'll add a couple more things there. I guess you'll talk to Ethan. So that sounds good. So with the ledger, Dennis, you started to review some of Sanders' ledger tasks.
Yeah, he updated it and was having some trouble. So I updated the firmware. He's still having some trouble with one of the commands that I understand, but you can talk more about that. So I'll go back and review his merge request when it's ready.
And you said you had to redo some of the marshalling work.
Yeah, the code-generated marshalers were ended up being way too bloated for the Nano, so I'm having to go through and kind of manually optimize them and strip them out and combine some of the functionality because I was blowing my stack. So I have only about 4K of space available.
How are they? Oh, you mean the code size is too big?
The code side is too big and it was taking up too much memory. So it's a combination of two things. So optimized the send tokens command, got that one working. So I need to do the add credits next. So the initial ledger is only going to support a limited bit of functionality, at least for version 1.0.
Right.
Is it
Yeah.
possible to have the ledger support signing a transaction without knowing what it is?
That they won't allow that.
Okay.
That's called blind signing. They won't allow that.
So I think we're going to need to add, so one of the operators brought this up. It sounds like we're not going to have support for signing we might have some transactions that we need the operators to execute that we don't have support for signing in the ledger. So I think we're going to need to add offline signing to the CLI so that the operator keys can be offline.
Yeah, we can talk offline, but if you give me a set of limited transactions we want to support above add credits and send tokens,
Okay.
I might be able to slip it in there, time
Dennis,
permitting.
I thought Ledger did allow blind signing. At least they do for Ethereum.
You have to enable it, and then if you do signing of messages, they have to add special, what they call magic characters to whatever you're signing to prevent people from submitting something that looks like a transaction. Because it's to prevent man-in-the-middle attacks.
Right. I mean, can we integrate it? I mean, I don't fully understand, but can we implement it however they did for Ethereum?
Well, if we do, it would invalidate all of our transactions because you're adding special characters to it when you sign messages. Because I think what you're talking about is the message signing capability of Ledger, because you can't go in there and blindly sign a transaction.
Okay, I'm gonna
like a real token transaction.
got it. I'm gonna send you this article. We'll talk more offline.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you're able to sign a data transaction, right? Or are you just only tokens right now?
No, for us, we're only supporting a very limited subset because of time. We're going to release.
So you don't have
an update.
You don't have the data signing transactions.
No. We're only supporting initially add credits and send tokens.
Okay. Well, the only observation is if you had data, then you could use just data transactions for the messaging. Because the worst that happens is somebody submits a data transaction to the protocol.
Right. Yeah. So.
But all right. Sorry.
All right. So Dennis, you'll review standard tasks today that are in review.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. And then I guess Sandy, I guess you still have some tasks in progress. Do you want to just comment on what you're working on?
Yes, I asked a question also in the morning. I tested the latest firmware, but there's not to add credits. It's not ready yet. And then in order to send tokens, you need to have credits, I think. At least in my script. But yesterday I looked into the JavaScript libraries. And I want to know if that needs to be integrated in Accumulate.js or there has to be a separate thing because the signing is done in Accumulate.js, the transaction signing. That's part of it. So
If it's easier, I think it's reasonable to include the ledger support in Accumulate.js. My answer is basically whatever's easiest.
Yeah, when we did this for the Factum JavaScript, what I did is the driver, we had a ledger driver, and it kind of it just used the Factum.js, and then the builder in the Factum.js supported external signatures, and so you're able to add that separate. And I think when Paul wrote Accumulate.js, he added that capability so we can do external signatures in the builder.
okay. You can also maybe add put the signer behind an interface and have a custom signer. You can plug in a signer.
Yeah, something like that would probably work.
Okay. So, yeah, Dennis, if you could spend the day reviewing Sanders' tasks, that'd be great. All right. So I guess that is that. Unless anyone has any other questions or comments.
Yes. So that Paul, I think I really need to sit with you and go over that document I kept referring to in the Cruft yesterday. I mean, in the Cruft chat, that transition document in the governance docs, because it sounds like it's sort of way off right now, and so I just need to like get the clear.
Oh, I don't know that it's way off. I don't.
Well, it says things like all token holders will get yield. Then it says they'll get yield if they bond with a validator, but if we're not going to have staking right away, then that's not.
We have staking right away, and we have delegated staking.
Delegated staking. Oh, we do have delegated staking.
We have delegated staking, but I don't know where the bonding term comes from. I think delegate.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just Niels. He means delegating. But anyway, can I just sit with you quickly sometime today and just go over the key points that I think I need clear answers on?
Well, I'll send over my Bitcoin address.
Or if you want to just look it over.
I kind of looked it over. I mean a lot of it is governance and issues, and I'm not really involved in a lot of the governance issues.
Okay, well, in that case, can we just meet and I'll go over the key points?
We'll meet. We can talk about it. I don't think there's much difference from what the original expectations were.
Okay, well,
I do have a question I want to ask you, Paul, about that. Are we going to? Because I remember months ago, part of the plan was for phase 2, we would allow basically anyone to be an operator, but there was going to be some kind of process to make sure that we didn't have one group gaming the system by setting up a whole bunch of operators that weren't actually different, that were really the same person, like some kind of proof of identity or something. Are we not doing that? We doing that?
We are intending to do that we know that the operator lists that we currently have are different people.
Yeah. But I mean, for phase 2, are we going to try to not? Because I thought we were going to not require the operators to approve new operators, and instead we were going to have some other process for verification or something.
Right. But I mean, that's all to be determined. Yeah, there are a lot of services out there that basically can provide what amounts to a very light touch KYC.
Okay.
And the foundation will have to organize that, because you want it, to get somebody's service, you kind of have to have a central entity talking to them, but you don't want that to be us. So that becomes the foundation. But that's not been determined, so I don't know what we'll end up doing.
All right, that's I guess enough for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that, but I guess we could save that for a later time.
Well, it's after launch, so it's of interest, but not necessarily from a work point of view yet.
Yeah.
All right, everybody good to go?
Yes.
You want to just stay on, Clinton?
Sure.
All right.
Ben, should we talk on Teams or?
Yeah, I'll call you on Teams.
Okay.
And actually, Paul, I'd like you in that meeting as well. Quentin, is it possible you could talk to Paul in a bit?
No. Yes, it is.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Bye.